is not something that you just dump something on. The internet is not a big truck. The internet is a series of
these nuts. Got him! Got him!
Worry not, I'll make an original intro for this when I actually have an identity. Hey lads, Alcoholics Unanimous here. Years and years ago, the worst YouTuber on the platform, Pyrocynical, started a YouTube series called A Series of Tubes, also known as ASOD. He still does them every couple of weeks, but I need you to pretend that he still doesn't do them anymore. For the people that actually watch quality television and don't know who the fuck I'm talking about, it's also similar to Charlie Brooker's Screen Wipe. I'm basically filling in for all the internet-related drama for the month that employed and mentally sane people rightfully and understandably don't have the time for. You see, every day I'm cursed with knowledge of internet stuff that doesn't matter, and it takes up space in my brain that can be used for other things. I don't quite know what other things it could be used for, but to soften the blow of my brain's memory card being filled up with junk files, I will now dump all of this knowledge onto you, to make me feel better about retaining this pointless information. So why watch hours and hours of moist critical videos sped up to 1.7 times speed every month, when you can watch this, like, hopefully 20-minute video at 1.7 times speed instead? Despite the fact that January was absolutely huge for internet drama, such as TikTok being banned, for a couple hours, the two biggest Minecraft YouTubers beefing, and a load of other stuff, it's all kinda eh. Also, this video is like 2 weeks late. The next one should go live before February ends. So, without further ado, let's recap January. TikTok, the way for some people to somehow earn more in 1 month than teachers will ever see in their entire lives by making thirst traps for gooners with no attention span and children. But despite the fact that you could make an argument saying that it's harmful to children due to the algorithm supporting short-form content and leading to attention problems. The main reason this app got banned in the US was due to the fact it had Chinese spyware. Oh no, China's spying on you and stealing your information? But that's our job! Wouldn't you rather have your information stolen and sold to China anyway for 3 cents by your good old Uncle Sam? Sure enough, unlike the last 2 years where they said they were going to ban it but didn't, funnily enough it was supposed to get banned 1 day before Donald Trump stepped into office. The best part about it were the people who genuinely realised that without TikTok, they're fucked. It's understandable for people who live paycheck to paycheck and get a small boost by doing a live stream over the weekend. But I don't really feel sorry for all these people who use it as their main source of income by lip-syncing the worst song you've ever heard in your entire life. Because I got a lot of views from it, I'm planning on doing another video on Sophie Rain, the content creator house they have, and the one-sided beef I have with the interview woman. What, you think I'm big enough to have serious beef with another content creator? Come back when I have a couple thousand subscribers. Hopefully they haven't deleted any of the videos they did before the TikTok ban announcement, but it was all pure molding, sieving and coping. But, as we know now, it was unbanned in a matter of hours. Why? I don't fucking know, ask the Orange Man. Allegedly it's still a temporary thing until a deal can be sorted out between the US and China, but that's kind of it. And that's the most important part of the video right there. So instead of doing it at the end, this is where I tell you to like, comment and subscribe, and also follow my Twitter for such insightful thoughts such as this. You can leave if you want, there's nothing much more of value after this.
What, are you retarded?
You saw Dream in the thumbnail, this is why you clicked on the video. So Dream and Tommy in it need no introduction. If you liked Minecraft, watched YouTube back in 2020 during the lockdown, and your dad went to go to get the milk, but never came back. me when my dad is about to beat my mum, but I subscribed to Dream just in time. Now, you see, I could give actual context for why these two Minecraft superpowers are beefing. For the older generation, this is the Gen Alpha and mentally ill Gen Z equivalent of Reagan versus Gorbachev. Here's the thing. I can't be bothered. Like, literally like 90% of YouTubers get a massive inflated ego when they make it big, and will literally backstab anyone they know at the drop of a hat to look better. Anyway, it all started because I think Tommy and someone else were beefing, and then fucking Dream comes in dropping the R slur in a meme. Side note, I refuse to call it the R slur. I'm all but legally autistic, and I think calling things retarded is the funniest thing ever. It's such a breath of fresh air when you actually watch something and someone calls someone a retard or says something retarded. Space King, for example, drops 2 R-bombs in the first episode, and because no one used, the word for a while, it kinda took me aback. And I realised that it's also used perfectly here to show how purposely intolerant the characters are. I'll say, I think it's absolutely fine to throw the word around with your friends that have no problem with it, though I can't say the same if you call an entire fan base retarded. You could get away with it if it was like one random person on Reddit that gets like 3 updates in their post, but you're a public figure. But anyway, I genuinely cannot be fucked to go into detail about this. I put on Pyrocynical's coverage of it. It was over 2 hours. I had it on in the background whilst grinding zombies. And at the end of it, I completely forgot how it all started. If you actually want to find out everything that's happened, go watch someone else's video. I'm only doing the short of everything. I'm literally just the weatherman and Family Guy.
What happened last time, Ollie?
Stewie killed Lois.
Then what?
Peter got blamed.
Then what?
Peter went to court.
Then what?
Lois came back.
Ow.
Wasn't really dead.
Thanks, Ollie.
The one thing I do actually want to talk about properly is Dream's initial response. It's absolutely fucking abysmal.
Yes, guys. You know what? You know what I've came to do this stream? You know what I've came to do this stream, guys? I've came to admit, finally, to all of my evil plan! It's come together! All of the members on the Dream SMP are under NDA! And they have been for years! And I've been siphoning every dollar they've made from all of the clout that I gave them! Because I made every single one of them! And I have their parents' numbers, and I will have them executed! Executed! If they say another bad word! Another bad word! They will perish. I will kill all of them. And also, secretly, I hate all of you. All of you. Because of your gender and your sex. And because I'm homophobic. I hate all of you. And I always have. You got me. But it's too late. It's gone through. The plan has been executed. I'll see you guys soon. In hell.
I don't know who needs to say this, especially, like, nowadays, but never address stuff on live streams. Ever. You need a well-written script. Do you see these? These are the ramblings of an insane person. I didn't have a script, I just went with the flow. But now, from what it looks like, he may just be doing a bit, but, like, you're being exposed for being a control freak and a weirdo. You're leaning into that for a semi-ironic bit that people can very easily take out of context. Okay, whatever. I'm bored now. If you actually want to be more well-informed about this subject, watch someone else's video about it. I'm not doing a bit. If I can be bothered to add chapters, this segment ends in a couple of seconds, and I cannot be more fucked with this topic. At this point, I'd rather castrate myself with a pair of rusty pliers. At least that would be moderately interesting and engaging. So, this year is a special year, as it marks a 10-year-old tweet that's now technically a reality. Yep, you're reading that right. The future is now, old man. So, for around $175,000, you can have your very own companion robot. So first of all, considering the fact we're in a housing crisis and all, my late grandparents' house costs less than one of these robots. Second, if you want to cheap out, you can literally get one that's just the shoulders arm. See, it would be embarrassing at the Christmas table, inviting a fucking machine as your partner. But imagine introducing a decapitated pair of shoulders and a head as your partner. If your parents weren't already, they'll definitely be asking God where they went wrong. But pricing and shame aside, my main issue with these is 1, these are going to be obsolete soon anyway. This is like stage 1 of 100. And 2, they look fucking horrible, man. It's the fucking uncanny valley. They're trying their best to sell this as an equal to a human being, but God, no.
Yeah! What is that thing? Make it go away!
See, they've completely missed out here. See, their audience is lonely people looking for love in anything they can get. But lonely basement dwellers don't have money, let alone more than a house kind of money for a semi-functioning legs and text-to-speech AI that has an inbuilt flashlight. Their target audience should have been the actual robot fuckers. And I'm being serious here. If they leaned more in with the design direction to make it look like a robot with female features, it would have made a killing. You remember how fucking wild everyone was for those ballerina robots a couple years ago? Do that. Lean into it. Plus, these people are the ones with money. These quote-unquote people work in IT and they get paid way more than they realistically should. They're the ones who can afford it. But yeah, despite the fact that describing myself as a hopeless romantic would be considered a compliment to how undateable I am, I think I'll keep trying my luck with actual human beings. I think I'd rather put the money towards a house.
Look at his pit stains! He's sweating!
Guys, I have bad news to report. If you had a bad 2024, maybe you lost a loved one, maybe you lost your job or your wife, Logan Paul had an even worse 2024 because he had a kid, a thriving food product, and a popular YouTube channel, all paying him more than you could even imagine. First thing to notice is how this video is weirdly clickbaity. The video title is about how 2024 was the year that broke him. And the thumbnail has all the stupid, "It's so over for Logan Paul" thumbnails, all the commentary channels were using. We have this entire video, and the best way you can describe it is just a humble brag. The only thing I'll give him and this video credit for is that bit about him reflecting on the birth of his daughter and how much he appreciates his partner is actually quite sweet. But yeah, that's my weekly quota for positivity. I still can't get over how Lunchley's still going. I was hoping it would take a nosedive within the first couple months after, but it's still surprisingly going strong, despite the fact of how unhealthy it is for its main demographic, children. Speaking of bad things for children, it's time to talk about this video's sponsor and my very own company. Beerly, Smokely, Hookersly and Gambly. Fun for all the family, and especially the children. At least Beerly doesn't contain any mercury. Yet.
Audio Jungle.
Yeah, I'm not sitting for a 40-minute video on the guy who used to make the Content Comp series lecture me on abortion rights. So to preface, I'm not against abortion, I'm very pro-abortion. Weirdly more so than most people are. Like, I'm of the opinion that you should be able to terminate a pregnancy for any reason you want, so long as it's not too far along. Like, my parents are also pro-abortion, but they think that you should have a valid reason for it, and apparently financial wouldn't be one of those reasons. this is a long video which I can't be bothered to watch. I just find it ironic because this is the last person who should be lecturing people about abortion and the her body, my choice bullshit. If this stuff was an issue in his prime, he would have made the exact same joke and he probably would have found a way to make it genuinely funny.
I had a bad day. I think I'm gonna kill myself.
Goonicide is not a word in the Bible. It's a new word that's been created for a very weird reason. Normally with something like this, the video goes on a public freakout subreddit or Twitter page, mildly blows up for a day and then fades out into obscurity. Though, let me describe this video because I cannot actually show it. Basically there's this new fast food that's like a cross between Costa and Hooters. Costa because it's a drive-thru where you buy expensive coffee, and Hooters because I think the waitresses wear bikinis. Despite this, I'd still rather make an instant coffee with 2 sweeteners at home for the price of the petrol it would have taken me to drive there, as opposed to paying at least a $5 for the same coffee. But at least the minimum wage worker who won't date me is giving me said coffee in a bikini. But some dude goes to this place for his coffee, and one of the waitresses catches him on video, fucking pulling the pork, choking the chicken, slapping the salami, etc. And then he just drives off in a hurry, seeing that he's been exposed. Okay, poor choice of words there. But now the dude has been identified, and, you know, what he did was illegal. It's at the very least indecent exposure, and if the waitress was underage, that's an immediate addition to the sex offenders registry. So, what do you think this guy does next? Did he 1. Quietly turn himself in? 2. Deny it was ever him? Or 3. Say it was him, but with no shame? If you guessed number 2, you'd be wrong. It was actually answer number 4. He fucking killed himself. See, you know, obviously, someone killing themselves is bad. But this man committed a crime, and instead of paying for the consequences of his actions, he took the coward's way out. God, the police had to tell his family what really happened. Sorry, ma'am, your son sent himself back to the lobby because he was caught with his chug jug out in Tilted Towers. The police had to tell the family of Mr. Hands what happened too. But don't worry, this story gets worse. There are now people giving sermons and hosting protests outside the cafe because he killed himself. One of the phrases these people are using is, "I can't goon," and a homage to another famous quote. Yeah, that's about it for that one. Man, I sure do love China, and I hate that Taiwan wants to be a country. Isn't that right, Mao? Basically, we've all heard of ChatGPT, the thing that's basically a free essay writer. But now we have a superior Chinese alternative, DeepSeek AI. What's the difference? I don't fucking know. But there is one difference. It's something America has that China doesn't. For some reason the UK kinda has it and kinda doesn't whilst researching this video. That's right, it's this cool thing called freedom of speech. And also the new game that everyone's playing, Marvel Rivals, is a Chinese game. And it's led to some really fucking funny things. Literally anything relating to China has done in the past, and any form of criticism towards China, including anything to do with a certain bear that enjoys eating honey. You can't type it in. See, Marvel Rivals just won't let you say it, but when people did it with DeepSeek, it gets halfway through before realising what it's done and just goes, huh? That was funny, right? What am I talking about? I'm such a goofy goober, am I right? So, Call of Duty Black Ops 6 has had a big update recently, and with it comes the new Zombies map, which not only am I playing for background footage, but also has been released at a record time after the map before got released. A grand total of about 7 to 8 weeks between new Zombies maps. However, it's not all good news. It has to do with the voice actors. So essentially, the voice actors have to renew their contracts. There's been a new development in the entertainment industry that's weaseled its way in, and that is generative AI. And in the new contract, part of it says they have to consent to having their voices sampled for generative AI. Worry not, I will go into detail about how fucking vile that is as a business practice. But I'll continue on with the rest of this first. So the first ones to get replaced, because they refused to sign their new contracts, were Zeke Alton, who plays Dr. Peck, and Julie Nathanson, who's been playing Maxis since Black Ops 4. I'm unsure who's replaced them, but you can tell the difference in voice actors between the launch map Terminus and the first DLC map Citadel. Now, the new map has come out and something immediately doesn't feel right. Firstly, there's no animated intro cutscene. Shame it's not there, but we can live without it. Voice actors have lines in the spawn room and have new quips for map-specific interactions, etc. But hang on. There are no voice lines for Dr. Peck, even though they got a new voice actor for him. How bizarre. Never mind, maybe there wasn't all that much for him to say. Okay, I'm not going to beat around the bush anymore. In the ending cutscene, no one has any lines. The characters have finally found the MacGuffin they've been they've gone through 3 maps to get, and they're just silent throughout it. Even boss fight, no lines for that. The only character who has any lines in the, in the cutscene is the voice actress who plays Maxis. And the ending cutscene is literally just a computer screen with an exposition dump. That's it. Some people are making the excuse that chances are, because of a short time gap between zombies maps, this one was rushed out. But even if it's rushed, they should have voice lines for an ending cutscene. What probably happened was when they were doing their lines before the new contract, they were told the latest map they had in development was a catacomb map, but didn't know what they were going to do with it exactly, but we have a couple of lines for the spawn room and map in general. So that's terrible. We may have to go back to the system in Cold War where we don't play as a set characters because, who needs consistent voice acting? Not us. We're a multi-billion-dollar company. But unfortunately, we're too poor to pay for a couple $100 for a recording session or two. I beg of you, take pity on us so we can use your voice with AI and have no reason to hire you again because we have your voice and we can do whatever we need with it. Do you hear how stupid that sounds? That's because it is. The fact that these companies think it's morally and ethically reasonable to capture someone's likeness so they just have it forever and don't need to rehire someone because they have everything they need as part of a generative AI is actual comic book level evil. I believe the only reason AI should be justified to replace a voice actor is if the voice actor is dead, and provided they have permission from the relatives. I'll tell you why this is a good idea. Sam Elliott is 80 years old and unfortunately isn't going to be around forever, and his voice is an international treasure. And as we all know,
everything is cooler with Sam Elliott narrating it.
Thank you, definitely Sam, who is joining me for this recording. So, in conclusion, that pretty much covers January. I'm begging February has something actually interesting to talk about, but yeah, that's it. See ya.